Okay, this is a video on how to make giant soap bubbles. Bubbles that are this big and this big, much bigger than you get with a plastic wand. Making giant soap bubbles is mostly pretty simple. Normally not the kind of thing that you would make a video tutorial for. Probably easier than making chocolate chip cookies. There is one part that's a little bit tricky, and that is a common mistake. And so that's the main reason that I want to make this video. So, giant soap bubbles are made with soap. Who knew? And combined with something called a polymer. A polymer is basically a very, very long molecule. The atoms in the molecule are kind of linked together like links in a chain, and they go on for a very long time, and that makes the molecule especially stretchy. The only tricky part of this is that the polymer doesn't dissolve in water, nor does it dissolve in soap. So when the recipe calls for mixing the polymer, which is a powder, with these liquids, it's a little bit tricky. Okay, so the first part of the recipe was 3 tablespoons plus 1 teaspoon of dish liquid, and that's what I just added. The next part of the recipe calls for, where's my recipe? Here it is. Calls for half a teaspoon of guar gum. Guar gum is the polymer that we're going to use to make giant soap bubbles. It's actually derived from some kind of bean or legume of some sort. It's used in cooking as a thickener, but here we're going to use it as a polymer to make the soap bubbles kind of stretchier. And the stretchier the soap bubble is, then the bigger it can get without bursting. Rigidity makes things burst. Stretchiness makes them, allows them to expand. So the trick here is that this guar gum, which is a powder, doesn't dissolve in liquid. So what tends to happen, if you just dump it all into the dish liquid all at once and then mix it up, you get little clumps. It's a little bit weird. You'll be mixing this powder in with this liquid, and there'll be this little ball floating in the liquid, and inside the ball is dry powder, even though it's being mixed with the liquid. So you want to avoid that. As you can imagine, a little clump doesn't work very well when you're trying to make something very fragile like a soap bubble. So in order to prevent it from clumping, you sprinkle it thinly on the surface and then mix that in, so there's basically no chance for a large amount of the powder to clump together and form a ball. So you have to do it for half a teaspoon. 4 sprinkles and mixes is probably the right number to prevent it from clumping. So I'm just kind of sprinkling it on the surface in a thin layer and then mixing it in. You can see how there are no clumps. It's kind of turning the dark blue liquid a lighter color, cloudy light blue. For a minute I thought I had a clump, but I think it's okay. I'm going to put the rest in. You can see how I'm mostly avoiding clumps here. Okay, so this guar gum is not actually dissolved in the dish liquid. It's not like dumping sugar into water, and it doesn't really matter, how much sugar you dump in. You shake it up and it dissolves. This guar gum, the little particles of guar gum are actually still there. They haven't dissolved. They're just kind of evenly distributed throughout the dish liquid. Okay? So that's that. That's the polymer, which is the secret ingredient to making giant bubbles. The rest of it is pretty straightforward. This recipe calls for a liter of water. You can just kind of, at this point you don't have to worry about dumping or being careful or anything. You can kind of pour it in there. You do want to minimize sudsing. If the soap is used to create big suds, then it can't be used to create beautiful bubbles. So you want to minimize, you don't want to shake it up too much because you want to avoid lots and lots of suds. Okay, so that was 1 liter of water, 3 tablespoons and 1 teaspoon of Dawn Ultra Platinum, and half a teaspoon of guar gum. Maybe I've created more suds than is ideal here. Finally, there's an optional ingredient, which is half a teaspoon of baking powder. I should say half a heaping teaspoon of baking powder. Soap bubble scientists disagree on whether baking powder has an effect. Some researchers believe that it improves the durability of the soap bubble. So if a little particle of pollen or dust blows into the soap bubble and creates a hole in it, the baking powder will help the soap bubble to self-heal. Other people don't really think that's true, but everyone agrees that it's harmless, so you can add the baking powder if you like. Okay? So this batch of what looks like kind of dirty dishwater is magic giant soap bubble liquid.